Bayakab Tuwam Yerushalayim. Wa Tizayawam. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to all of the hopefully elect apostles that are out there bringing out this real truth amongst all these fake prophets. It's a tough job you guys have. It's a tough job we have. But let's just get into this. I'm gonna I don't really know what to call this class, but I'm gonna speak on faith, but just maybe not the way you think. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Let's get started. Let's go to the book of Luke. We're gonna go to chapter 4 and verse 13. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season. So a season is a certain amount of time. Like you got 4 seasons, they're all a certain amount of time. So he departed from him for a certain amount of time. Now he said when he ended all the temptation. What is temptation? Let's get the actual definition of what temptation is. Temptation, the desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise. So how did the devil tempt Yahushua? With unwise and wrong things. But obviously he wasn't tempted. He's Yahushua. He's the perfect lamb. So we know that the devil tempted him and then he left for a certain amount of time. And this, and Yahushua has been tempted over and over. This happens all through his life, throughout his whole life. Let's jump over to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Because, well, you know what? Let's just go to Ecclesiasticus. We're going to go to chapter 2, and we're going to start from the top. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, prepare thy soul for temptation. What is temptation? Prepare thy soul for the desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise. Prepare your soul. Be prepared for that. Because that's what's going to happen. Let's go ahead and... So, before I jump forward, the reason why I brought that verse out with Luke is because Satan, you see what happened was, as he was tempting, and then he left for a season. And for all of you future prophets out there, hopefully elect, and all you elders already know this, that Satan's going to come back and start it all over again and start tempting you all over again. It's a cycle that he uses to weed out the 2/3. That's all there is to it. That's his job. You don't understand that? I don't know what to tell you. He was put here just like us. We all have our job. We're all part of the body. Let's go over to the book of Peter, chapter 1. 1 Peter, chapter 4. And we're going to start at verse 12. Behold, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though something strange, some strange thing happened unto you. Nope. Don't think it's strange that the Most High is going to chasten you. I just told you. Gold is refined in the fire. He has to get all the impurities out of his hopeful elect before he can let them dwell with him, because he can't be around an impurity. Let's keep going. But rejoice in so much as ye are partakers of Yahushai's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Why would you be glad when his glory is revealed? Because that's when you receive your blessing also. Let's keep going. If ye be reproached for the name of Yahushai, happy are ye. For the spirit of glory and of Yahweh resteth upon you. Ooh. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. His glory and spirit are in you. That's why you're keeping this faith. That's why you're not getting tempted. Faith. I'm talking about temptation today, but faith is the main goal. Verse 15, but let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. I mean, if I have to break that down for you, you might need an even more basic class. Stay out of other people's business. Man. Verse 16, yet if any man suffer as a Christian, now we said a key word there. Let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on his behalf. All right. So, I'm not even going to get into the word Christians. I'm skipping over all that. I don't care. You guys already know that Christians are not one of us. So why would I even bring it up? Let's go back to the book of Ecclesiastes. And believe me, I can destroy them too, but I'm not doing that in this class today. I'm talking about faith. So let's go back to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2. And let's start over again from the top. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. How do you set your heart aright? By keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. Constantly endure. How do you constantly endure? By not making haste in time of trouble. In other words, when you are getting tempted, you're not falling into the temptation. Haste not in time of trouble. What does it mean to be hasty? To do a task in great speed or hurry. Do not be in great speed or hurry in the time of trouble. Let's keep going. Cleave unto him, depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. How do you cleave unto him? And depart not away. How do you do that? Let's go back to the basics again. By keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. It's got to be sealed in your heart. Now, this is basic. So basically, you're going to do this stuff with joyfulness and gladness in the heart. That's how you know right away whether you're chosen or not. If this is hard for you to do, if it's hard for you to follow the Most High, maybe it's not for you. Maybe you shouldn't even be listening to this class because it's too hard for you. But for those that steadily endure and haste not in time of trouble, this class is for you. You got to find out what you're waiting for. You got to find out what this faith is all about. So those are the people I'm speaking to today. Let me keep going. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. So here's a good example. Last week, my whole AC system broke, and I figured out the problem. And I went down to the AC place, and the guy tried to sell me a part. And he said, it'll match up with it. And I'm looking at the part, nothing looks right. So what do? I said, hold on now. Hold on, let's be patient here. Because I'm already burning up in my house. If I just make a hasty decision, I'm still going to be hot and plus out a bunch of money. So I hope you guys can understand that little metaphor. I was not hasty at my low estate by just grabbing anything. I waited for the right thing, and I went with that. Let's keep going. I hope that made sense to you. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Now, I've been telling you this since the beginning of the class, that the Most High has to burn all the impurities out of his 1/3 and weed out the 2/3. That's why that's why we're getting burned right now. He's trying to figure out who's gold and who's chaff. Who's stubble. Who's the stubble and who's the gold. And some people look like gold, but as soon as you set them on fire, they just burn right up into nothing. You're fake. Verse 6. You know what? Let's hold off on verse 6 for right now. Let's go... Let's go, you know what? we'll keep going. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have any precepts in there that I missed. How far have we gone? 10 minutes? All right, we're gonna stop that class right here, and we're gonna do a part 2.